Yeah, let's dive right in the good stuff. Well, as first thing I would like to mention is I am a fan of XCOM, I'm a fan of turn-based tactics, and I'm a fan of zombie games. So I really love this game because it's a mix of all those three components. I have to say the style of graphics has also a certain charm, but unfortunately it does not offer much more than this. So yeah, if you're a fan of the genre, then it might just be enough to keep you going for a while. But as you might be getting into something really fresh and really new, then maybe this is not really a super interesting game for you to play. Well, for the second thing, as a good thing, I like to say that I liked the fact that there is noise, and noise is a huge factor in this game. You will not be able to shoot and blast your way through a horde of zombies because you will be alerting loads of zombies, and that will evolve into a frenzy, and that will make the game even more difficult. So you really will need to have to think about mixing it up with melee and just avoiding zombies instead of taking everything head on. For the third part, I really like that the game is challenging, which is good, but I have to be honest, it really felt that the luck does have a big role in it. So there's a chance to miss when you strike with your knife or when you shoot with your gun. This does bring an extra difficulty element into the game, but to be honest, personally I found it a bit frustrating because I'd rather have more control over my own decisions than being handed over to luck and good or bad fortune. And unfortunately the bad fortune does seem to prevail a lot, but it is good because it works in the sense that when something goes wrong, you will need to take a step back and rethink your approach. So it is an element that does have an effect on how you would play the game. Okay, that was what I thought was good about the game, and now let's head into the stuff that I did not like so much. First of all, I think that it was not so good that the opponents did not have any statistics or specifics. So if you go over them with your mouse button, you won't see anything. You really are supposed to guess what the skills are, which abilities they have, how many hit points, movement points, and so on. So it's really a bit frustrating that you can't see who you are facing, and there are a couple of several different type of zombies you will encounter, so it will be really interesting to see what you are facing at that time. So as a second thing, which I did not like too much about this game, I feel there could be way more stuff being implemented in order to make the game way more intense and way more strategic and tactical. For example, if you hide behind objects to stay out of sight, if you would implement Overwatch and more variety of weapons, that would really add much more flavor to this game. Because now it's basically trying to grab some loot, and in order to get weapons from that and make it as fast as possible to the end point. And there is no real point or sense of thinking of a real strategy, and the zombies will keep on spawning in each time, so you need to be fast. That's basically what this game is all about. So it does not really lend itself to think of an ingenious strategy or taking the long road. So it's a pity, I feel, that at least you're not given that option. Maybe you want to be fast and you do it fast, but maybe you want to play it tactical and focus on grabbing all the loot or whatever. That really is not how this game works. So yeah, that's kind of a bad thing. So, and as for the third and final thing I didn't like about this game is that it is really super repetitive. So the enemies are not really exciting. They will just go towards you in the straightest routes possible. And they don't even contemplate any sort of tactics. They just come at you and they will try to find the fastest route possible. So there isn't much challenge in anticipating to the enemies, because you can really expect what you will get. You will know what you will get. And as for yourself, you're basically doing the same thing. Because of the lack of depth in this game, you're basically applying the same tactic over and over again, trying to get to the point where you need to be as quick as possible. the game has its charms, but it gets real old real quick. So yeah. So as for my general thoughts I have for this game, I felt that it does deliver a cruel, a challenging and often unforgiving gameplay experience, which is really good. It's kind of gritty. It also has a punishing difficulty, because if one of your players dies, you will have to restart from your last point where you saved, and there are only 3 save slots available, and you have to really think about saving at the right moment. And in my case, I sometimes forgot doing that, so I had to play the same part over and over again. Like I told you before, the game already suffers from a lack of variety, which makes dying feel like it is like a double punishment almost. You would also think that each failure that you make, each time that you die, that would push you to rethink your tactics and stay sharp while avoiding the relentless zombie hordes, but in reality you will be finding yourself doing the same thing over and over again, and that's really because there aren't that many options which the game provides you with, so there isn't much to rethink, to be honest. So the lack of being able to strategize and choose from an array of tactics condemns you to do the same thing over and over again, and that's basically getting as fast to where you need to be. Well, I do have to say that the game immediately feels packed with innovative ideas, making it more than just another tactical shooter or anything like that. But for me, it did not make enough of an impact to give me that wow factor. And also, because it leans into the zombie theme, I couldn't call this like a mere XCOM clone, which basically would be kind of an insult when you come to think of it, because of the amazing depth and variety the XCOM games offers, and that season unfortunately does not at all. So also the mechanics, they really sometimes worked and sometimes they did not work. For instance, the chance to hit system makes surviving almost into a gamble. And as you know, when you have to roll the dice, the result is out of your hands, and this especially hurts you. Literally, when melee attacks against slow-moving zombies for some reason miss. Sometimes there are guys which are the size of juggernauts, and even then, when you're in front of them, you're not able to hit them. So that doesn't make any sense to me at all. So you're basically, it's all luck instead of your skill and being able to crouch up on anyone. It doesn't really matter in the end. And if you would go a different route by using your guns, going for a range attack, then the result is basically the same. I understand that most survivors won't be real marksmen, but it really gets frustrating that you miss all the time. And adding to that is also that the weapon, they jam very often, which is really frustrating because it costs an extra action point to fix this issue. So yeah, it's way too much just to put your hands into fave instead of being able to control your own destiny. But to conclude, I have to say that despite all these annoyances, the game really does have its charms, and it can be quite addictive, as it does pose a challenge to get a level done. And also because survivors are fragile, you need to scavenge for better gear, you need to level up skills in order, for example, to reduce your gun jams or carry over unused action points, stuff like that. But then again, the shallow skill trees offers little in terms of character variety, and it's really limiting the depth of the survival building experience you might want to expect. So overall, that season's harsh design does create a unique, albeit frustrating, zombie survival experience. So yeah, is this the right game for you? Well, that's up to you, but I do hope that my insights and honest thoughts about my own personal experience did point you in the right direction in making that decision. So yeah, that's it for me now, and I hope you enjoyed my review and my honest thoughts about this game. And if you have any comments, anything you would like to add, then please do so using the comment section. And if you appreciate what I'm doing here, if you appreciate this kind of review, then please consider giving me a like. Or you might even consider joining my channel by subscribing. So yeah, it's all up to you. For now, I wish to thank you once more and have a good day and see you the next time.